Hello, and welcome to Make a Difference, the show that brings you inspiring stories about how volunteers and nonprofit organizations are transforming lives every day, right here in Montgomery County. I'm your host, Florence Jewell, and in this episode, we're focusing on the incredible impact of corporate volunteerism. Why? Corporate volunteerism brings a host of benefits to the company, its employees, nonprofits, and the communities in ways we sometimes don't even see. We're shining a spotlight on Hughes, an EchoStar company based in Germantown, Maryland. Joining me in the studio today are two leaders from Hughes, Megan Maker, Corporate Communications Specialist, and Adila Sharif, Senior Director, Planning and Strategic Programs. They'll share the impact of Hughes' corporate volunteerism effort and how the major manufacturing facilities on the Germantown campus of Montgomery College are making a difference. Let's get ready to be inspired by the impact of corporate volunteerism. Welcome to the show, Megan and Adila.
Thank you.
We're so glad to have you here, and before we get into who you are and what you do at Hughes, can we just talk about the major announcement that occurred in April with the partnership with Montgomery College and how that plays into corporate volunteerism as well?
Yeah, of course. So as you mentioned, back in April 2024, we opened our 140,000 square foot manufacturing facility. It houses a whole floor of manufacturing where we produce hardware that powers our solutions. We also have a private 5G incubation center and office space for accounting, IT, all sorts of teams call our manufacturing facility their office. So as you mentioned, also it's on the Montgomery College campus, so it provides an easy way for both students from the campus to come over, and then our headquarters are adjacent, so students are able to turn what they learn in the classroom into real-world experiences side by side with our engineers.
And I understand from reading the article that it's the only one in the U.S. where a manufacturing facility is on a college campus.
Correct. It's a very, very unique opportunity for students.
And also, I also understand that there's internship, mentoring, and all of that, those are a form of volunteerism.
Correct.
So tell us about your role with Hughes, and what does volunteerism mean to you?
Yeah, so I started back in August of 2022 at Hughes on the corporate communications team. So I have the honor of sharing our story both internally, so through employee communications, and then externally through events like this, social media, our website, all sorts of digital media. For me, volunteering is a great way to get to know a community. So I grew up in New York, I went to college in Pennsylvania, and now I'm here in Maryland. So I found that wherever I move, it's a great way to immerse yourself in a community, get to know people, get to know your neighborhood, and yeah, that's what volunteering is to me.
Absolutely, and we're so glad to have you here in our community.
Thank you.
And Adila, what about you? Tell us about your role, your professional role, and I also understand you are Vice President of the Employee Resource Group there at Hughes.
Yeah, so I have been at Hughes for 26 plus years, grew up literally at Hughes, have enjoyed that journey. I'm a project manager for the network operations team, so I make complicated things easier for the teams involved. From an employee resource group perspective, I am the vice president of Women Impact Network, acronym WIN, and we are a group of women that make things happen, whether it is for within the company or whether it is volunteering outside the company. So it's a powerful group of women where we make things happen.
All right, so well, again, I met you at Unity Day in Rockville, and you were making things happen on that day. So let's get into Hughes's mission and focus on community engagement. Talk a little bit about the priorities and the initiatives that they're doing. As I said, I met you at Unity Day in Rockville, and was exciting to have you as a panelist there. What other things are they doing in the community around volunteerism?
So, you want to take that?
I can start.
Yeah.
Yeah, so community involvement is in our roots. Hughes has been headquartered in Montgomery County starting in Rockville over 50 years ago. So it's home. It's home to a lot of employees as well, literally. So we have our roots here, and then we continue to grow here, as you see by the manufacturing facility and continuing to put back into the community that has helped us flourish.
Mm-hmm.
And we found that being involved in your community and helping to bring up the next generation of engineers not only sparks innovation and imagination, but it also encourages people to stay here. They want to put down roots and build community. So we're proud to say that we have an average of over 10 years tenure for employees,
Yes.
and 72 to 75% conversion rate of interns returning back as full-time employees. So they come from around the world and they want to stay here.
Right, and internship is a form of volunteerism. And Adila, is there anything else that you'd like to add to that?
So I'd like to emphasize the point that she made about people at Hughes working there for a long time. So when you stay in a company for a long time, one, you build community. You're working with people that you've known for a long time. Second, it adds to the culture of the company. So when you volunteer together, you're actually working with not just with peers, it's a family of a kind where you come together, you make a difference in the community. One example of that is actually in COVID. So our company was closed, our doors were closed, and the Women Impact Network decided that we wanted to do a food collection.
Right.
Again, we did the food collection in our parking lot for Manna Food Center, and that was just the Hughes community coming together to give back.
That's an extraordinary story. Let's talk a little bit about the impact on the community and what were they saying and how did they feel to know a company open up its doors to your parking lot and partner with Manna Food Center. Any feedback from the community on that initiative?
I think from our team perspective, the Hughes employees felt part of something bigger than themselves, right? It gives you a place to be able to contribute. So everybody just came in through the parking lot. We were just collecting food in our vans, and then we drove it over to Manna. And Manna was just thrilled that despite the company being closed, despite not having people there, we were still able to bring truckloads of food. We have an online, in-person cafeteria as well. We got the cafeteria to give us their food as well. So we were able to fill our trucks and we were thrilled.
Absolutely. That's a win-win for everyone. Let's pivot a little to the partnership. You mentioned Manna. Are there other nonprofits or organizations that you partner with? And if so, what's the criteria on selecting a particular nonprofit organization?
So we believe people do well, or people champion stuff that they feel strongly about. Inherently, people want to give back. So one of the recent efforts was with Interfaith Works.
Okay.
It was Women History Month. We're all women. We wanted to do something for women in the community. We said, let's partner with Interfaith Works. Let's do a toiletry drive. So we did an amazing toiletry drive, I think, because we collected for a while. We bagged them. We made hand-drawn bags for them. We put personalized cards in them. So it was a lot of love that went into making those bags and making sure that whoever opens them is thrilled with that small gesture. So we do partner, but again, when you're looking at organization, it is important for us to make sure that we're looking at the interests of our community.
Absolutely. We are going to take a quick break and then we'll come back. So stay with us. We need to take a break, and when we return, we'll continue with our guests and having this conversation on community engagement. Welcome back to Make a Difference. I'm your host, Florence Jewell. With me is Megan Maker and Adila Sharif from Hughes, and we're talking about corporate volunteerism. We left off talking about the partnership and the criteria. I want to move into how the employees, we talked about the empathy that they have and how they feel and how they want to give back in the community. Are you seeing any other outcomes from volunteerism with the employees?
I think volunteering builds a sense of community. There's fellowship. We come together. We don't just put boxes out and say, hey, throw toiletries in there and Adila will pick them up and take them there. We had a party. We had a couple parties, a packing party, a decorating party. And it's people from all across the business that you may never have met. We have a few offices in Montgomery County, so we have people from other offices drive over. So it's a great way to build community within Hughes as well. And then morale, people are happy, people want to help. In my role on the corporate communications team, I again have the privilege of sharing what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So both promoting it beforehand, come to our packing party or whatever we want to call it, and then here's pictures of it,
Yes.
which then sparks people, how do I get involved with that?
Yes.
Absolutely, that networking, that team building,
Yes.
and that excitement about making a difference. So Hughes is doing extraordinary in this area. Talk about what other companies could do. I mean, you could serve as a role model. If someone was coming to you from another company, whether they're small or large, what would be your advice to them of how they can start a corporate volunteerism?
I would suggest, like Adila mentioned, we do pick organizations that align with our mission, but additionally we gauge employee interests, see what they want to do, and then also organizations reach out to us. So they see that we're doing these amazing things. Recently, the Big Brothers and Sisters program reached out asking if anyone would want to be mentors because they see the work that we do with the youth and the college students in the area.
Yeah.
Another example of that is since 2013, our legal team has been connected with the Street Law Group. So this is an organization that introduces the legal field to students. So they go to a local high school. One semester they have a law class, and our employees volunteer their time to teach during the class. And then their capstone, they come to our Germantown headquarters and get to do mock trials, get to speak to actual lawyers, and also explore our campus. And maybe they don't see a legal field in their future, but hey, here's some pretty cool things our engineers are doing. So that's another way, an example of aligning our mission, but then also interest of our employees.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic story. I didn't know about that, so thank you for sharing. Anything you would like to add to that, Adila?
So from other companies' perspective, and it seems very hard to start a volunteer program because you think this is going to take up time, who's going to do it. Start small. Mm-hmm. Start with one effort and build up that energy so that the volunteers will start coming in. With our events, we've had so much fun, and like Megan is extremely helpful in sharing our pictures, that whoever did not come feels like they missed out on something. We have a chat where we're talking about all the stuff that we did and how much fun we had. We're not talking about the labor work. We're talking about how much fun we had volunteering as a group. So whoever was not able to make it, everybody's busy. Whoever was not, they feel like they missed out on something very special. So we've made it fun. We've made it special. But again, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to take another employee to do it. You have volunteers within your own company. Start small and let it grow big.
And that's the important thing. It doesn't have to be grandiose.
Correct.
It can be small. And
Yes.
Hughes is doing volunteerism on different levels.
Yes.
Now, if someone wanted to, you talked about people reach out to you on the different digital platforms, and what are some other ways that they can contact if someone watching this show and they like what they're hearing, they really want to connect with Hughes and what you're doing to make a difference in Montgomery County? How would they connect with you?
The best way is to email, so info@echostar.com. We monitor that inbox for all sorts of emails, but if you make it clear what your subject is, we'll be happy to help.
Absolutely. Any last words you want to share with our audience about corporate volunteerism and the next level we can take it to, whether you're small or medium or large business?
I think the one thing I'd like to share is make the intention. Consciously sit down, make the intention, start small, build a team so that you can amplify the impact.
Thank you. Anything to add?
Yeah, I would say see what your employees' interests are. A lot of employees on their personal time volunteer as well, and you may not even know about it. So see what people are doing, see what charities and organizations that they're passionate about, and go from there.
Okay, and before we wrap up the show, any questions or things you would that I didn't ask you would like to say something about?
If I can mention a couple of our other larger volunteer programs.
Okay.
So we have a long-term, our HughesNet brand has a long-term partnership with 4-H,
Okay.
nationwide civic organization that introduces kids to a variety of careers. So we particularly focus on STEM careers. And we have sponsored several interactive digital STEM activities for them. These were especially important during COVID when students were home, so that it was online learning. So we have, for example, an augmented reality app where students could learn how a satellite works.
Okay.
So you download it on your phone, you move it around, and it's like you're in space. Then another big program for us is our overarching intern program outside of just the Montgomery College one. So we each summer welcome over 50 students from around the country to our U.S. offices.
Wow.
And our employees eagerly volunteer to mentor, to have them on their team, be their manager. We always have new hire buddies, make sure they can find their way around the office. So that's always a very exciting time in our office when we have the interns.
Wonderful. I'm so glad you mentioned those because I'm getting excited too, and I'm sure our listeners will as well. So thank you both for being on the Make a Difference show. It is clear that Hughes is making a difference in Montgomery County and beyond other communities in the county. So thank you for all that you are doing and coming on the show. That's it for this episode of Make a Difference. I would like to thank our guests, Megan and Adila from Hughes, County Cable Montgomery production and editing team for all their support and hard work, and thank you for watching. I'm your host, Florence Jewell. For more information on volunteerism, go to montgomeryserve.org. Remember, change starts with you. Until next time, be inspired, involved, and be sure to make a difference every day.